For this project, I'm using a size I 5.5mm crochet hook, and I'm just using a Red Heart Super Saver. It's a 4-ply worsted weight acrylic. And I'm going to start out with the slip knot. I'm going to start off with a chain of 3. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first to form a ring. A slip stitch. And you can use the magic circle if you want. People ask me sometimes why I never use the magic circle, but I just think it's easier to do this, for me anyways. But if you know how to do that, you can use that. Go ahead and chain 1. And then I'm going to go back through the center of the ring, and I'm going to do 10 half double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, go through the center, and half double. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, once you get your 10, you can usually pull your tail and it'll make that. Okay, you're probably going to need some type of a stitch marker here because I'm going to work these half double crochets in the round. So I'm going to take a piece of yarn here. Put it like that. Now I'm going to jump over to the very first half double crochet. And I'm going to half double crochet in it. So I'm not slip stitching or anything. Just like that. I'm going to put another half double crochet in it. So that was 2 half double crochets. And I'm going to work my way around now, putting 2 half double crochets in every stitch. All the way back around to my stitch marker. 2 in each stitch. I made it back around to my stitch marker after putting 2 half doubles in every stitch, so I'm going to move my stitch marker up. And now I'm going to work around again. And I'm going to go ahead and put 1 half double in the next stitch. 1 in the next. 1 in the next. And then my next one will be an increase stitch. It'll have 2 half doubles in the same stitch. So I'm going to put 1 half double in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then increase stitch. I'm going to put 2 half doubles in the same stitch. 1 half double in each of the next 3 stitches. Two half doubles in the next. So that's the pattern that you want to repeat back to your stitch marker. Coming back around here, and I made it to my stitch marker, doing my last stitch as an increase. Now I want to move my stitch marker up again. And now I'm just going to do rounds of 1 half double crochet in every stitch. Just like that. 1 in every stitch until I get back around to the stitch marker. And then I just move my stitch marker up and go around again. I'm just going to keep doing rounds of this until I get the toe part of my slipper made. Just like that. So I'm just doing rounds of 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. Okay, I did 4 rows of the 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. So if you count from the beginning, I have 7. But I'll show you how to measure just in case. Yours might be different. Mine, I wear a size 9, so I'm going to make them to fit my feet, but just slip it on your toe here. And you want it to go just like a sandal would, right at the top of your toe line there. So you can measure yours and put as many rows as you want. But after you get back there to your stitch marker, you don't need it anymore, so you can pull it out. Now we're going to be not working it around, I'm going to be working back and forth. So what I'm going to do is chain 1 and turn my work. And I'm going to go into this very first stitch and 1/2 double crochet. And now I'm going to work around, putting 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. But I'm not going to go all the way around. You want to start leaving the sides open. And again, this is something you can kind of put on your foot and measure. But okay. I went all the way around, and I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave 8 stitches open, but if you want to leave more or less, it's up to you. But right here is 8 open. Probably sick of seeing my foot up here, but about like that. To make it look kind of like a sandal. And then I'm just going to start doing rows back and forth. So now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to go 1/2 double crochet right back into the very first stitch. And now I'm going to work my way around again, putting 1/2 double crochet in every stitch around till I get back to here, and then I'll chain 1 and turn, 1/2 double crochet back again, chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to keep doing that until it gets back to my heel. Okay, I did 13 rows. And last time I'll make you look at my foot, I promise. You just go till it reaches back here on your ankle, and you want it to be a little snug. You don't want it to be real loose, so this is where you can kind of pull it tightly back there, like that, and we'll sew it together. But after you get as many rows as you need, you might need more or less than me. I'm going to, you can see in the front there's a good side, and then the side that's not so good, depending on which side you're facing. Put the not so good side facing out right now. That way, when we sew it up, we can flip it back, and the seam will be on the inside. So I got my ucky side showing. So I'm just going to put it together here, and I'm going to slip stitch it. Right up here, I'm just going to slip stitch this back together. So I'm going to go in the first stitch, and then a stitch over here, and slip stitch. Go into the next stitch, and next stitch over here. Slip stitch, and I'm going to do that all the way down, just slip stitching it together. like that, and then you can tie that off here. And you can hide that tail and then flip your piece back around to where they're good size facing you. And then you got a little slipper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around it with, like, around the top here with a row of single crochet. So I'm just going to start kind of in the back here, anywhere in any stitch. And I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to go back into the same stitch that I just started in and single crochet. Now I'm just going to work my way around, putting one single crochet in every stitch just to clean up the top a little bit. Some of these single crochets are going to be hard to see, so just kind of evenly space them out the best that you can. So I'm going to go ahead and finish going around. I'm just going to go around the side, the front, and this side, and then back to the beginning. Okay, once you make it back around, after that one single crochet in every stitch along the top there, just slip stitch into the top of your first single crochet, and then you can tie this off and hide any tails you got. I'm going to go ahead and put a bow on it too real quick. For the bow, I'm going to start with a chain of 13. And I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then I'm going to single crochet one single crochet in every stitch until I get to the end of my chain. And when I get to the end, I'm going to chain one and turn my work. Now I'm going to work in the very first stitch, and I'm going to do a double crochet. And then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the next. So that was 3 double crochets in a row. And now I'm going to do 2 half double crochets, one in each of the next 2 stitches. So there's one in that one and one in the next. And now in the next stitch I'm going to slip stitch, and then I'll slip stitch again into the next. And now I'm going to work my way back up. I'm going to do 1 half double in each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and now I'm going to finish it out by putting 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to repeat that row again. So I'm going to do a double crochet in the very first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, and then a double crochet in the next. So that was 3 double crochets in a row. Now I'm going to do a half double in the next, and then a half double again in the next, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the next stitch, And then I'll work my way back up. 1/2 double in each of the next 2 stitches. And then I'll finish it out with a double crochet in the last 3 stitches. Like that. And then I'll just clip that off real quick. Now I'm going to cut a piece of yarn, foot, or it's 12 or 18 inches or so. And I'm going to tie a little knot around the center here. Like that. And now I'm just going to take my long string that I just made and tied a knot and kind of wrap it around a couple of times. To form the little center of the bow. Like that. And then I'll just take my yarn needle and hide all these tails. And you can sew it on with this one right here if you want. So that's my bow. I'm going to hide these other 2 tails here on the end, and I'll leave this one long to sew it on with. Now I'm just going to use my yarn needle and sew this bow on here. Just right up here in the center somewhere. Just get it sewed on a couple times just so it don't come off. Probably sew right here and then put a couple stitches on the sides too. Okay, there's that. And now I'm going to set it to the side for now. And I'll work on the sock part. Now I seen, like, in the movie, I was watching it, that's why I wanted to make these. Dorothy has blue socks, so if you want to do that, you can. I'm going to make the black and white stripe like the Wicked Witch when she got smashed by the house and only her legs were showing and she had them long black and white stockings on. That's what I'm going to do. But you can use the blue too, it's up to you. Now I'm going to sew this, what I'm going to make is a front piece, and I'm going to sew it on here separately. That way it kind of looks like it's inside this, like the slipper's on over it. I just thought it looked a little better that way. But now I'm going to be working double crochet now. So I'm going to start. And you can kind of measure yours too. If you do a little different, just to where it's a little bit bigger. Has a little bit of an overhang across. So once you get it measured how you want it, add 3 more. So I'm doing a chain of 15. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going to double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook. And I'm going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain. Okay, when you get to the end here, this is where I'm going to switch colors. So I'm going to go in like I'm going to do a double crochet, draw up, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. And instead of going through the last 2 loops, I'm going to drag my new color in and make it go through the last 2 loops, like that. And you'll probably have to clip this first color off. I'm going to have to change colors every row, so I'm just going to clip it and start with my new. I like to tie a little bit of a loose knot here with my 2 ends so it doesn't come undone. I could take that knot out later when I had the tails, so it don't come undone while I'm working with it. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn, go back into the very first stitch and double crochet. And now I'm going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch across. And now I'm just going to keep doing rows like this. I'm just going to switch colors every time, back and forth, from black to white. Nope. And I'll switch colors here at the last stitch again. Go back to my other color. Back to my black. Pull it through the last 2 loops, like that. And I'll clip my white off. Oh. And put a little knot in these 2 tails before I start again. Okay, now I'm just going to start again with my new color. And I'm just going to keep doing chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to keep doing this back and forth until I get a few rows. Okay, I went ahead and did 5 rows and I hit the tails. Now what you want to do is we're going to sew it up under here a little bit. Just a little bit. So you might want to get some pins and pin it. It works. It's easier if you do that. So just tuck it up under a little bit. I'm still gonna see my first row is black. I'm gonna tuck it under about halfway. And pin it. And then just maybe along this first row, first to second row probably. Just pin it down a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And pin the other side down. Tuck it under a little bit until it lays about like that, you know. I might go down a little bit more on this one, maybe about 3 rows in. Maybe about the same on the other side, 2 or 3 rows in. And then I'm just going to use my red yarn and my yarn needle, and I'm just going to start, and I'm going to neatly sew it on right through here. I'm just going to go in and back up through the next stitch. I'll leave that tail long so I can sew it in later. Go in, back up, make sure you're grabbing that piece underneath. go in the next stitch and back up through the next. The bow's in the way, I guess, but if you know what other way to sew it on, just whatever works for you, just so it gets sewed on here. Just kind of do it as neat as you can and as straight as you can. Don't pull your stitches too tight though, or it'll start to gather up the red part and then it'll look kind of funny. So not overly tight, just tight. Pull them through kind of normal. I'm going to go around now the side. So that's how I'm going to do it. Finish out to here, and then I'm going to come over and do this. I guess I could have just started there and went around, but just sew this on. Okay, I got it sewed on. I tried it on and it fits okay. So now I'm going to continue with the next color here. I'm just going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to start back here in the back. Go ahead and go through that slip knot that's on your hook. Well, chain one, go back into the exact same stitch and double crochet. Now I'm going to put one double crochet in each stitch. It's like this. Okay, I made it here. This is my last stitch that I'm going to go into on the red until I get over to here. I'm not going to do anything up here. And then I'm going to decrease this last red stitch and the first stitch of my stripe. I'm going to double crochet decrease. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first two loops. I'm going to yarn over again and go into the first stitch on my stocking part, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first two loops, and I'm going to yarn over and go through all three. So I decrease them two together. Now I'm going to work my way around again, putting one double crochet in every stitch. Till I get over here, and I'm going to do the same thing in this little corner piece that I just did. So when I get to my last stitch here, I'm going to do yarn over, go into it, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first two loops, and then I'm going to go into the first stitch here in the corner, yarn over, right here, this stitch is my first one. Go in, go through the first two loops, yarn over and go through the last two. So I double crochet decreased the first stitch on here and the stitch on here, right in the corner two stitches. And now I'm going to work my way around, putting one double crochet in each stitch till I get back to the beginning over here. Okay, I made it back around here, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my first double crochet. But now I'm going to bring in my new color to slip stitch it back through. Like that. Now I'm going to repeat the row that I just did. I'm not going to clip off my white. I'm just going to keep it going. Chain 1, double crochet, back in the same stitch. And now I'm going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch until I get back over there to the corner where we decreased a while ago. I'm going to do that again. Okay, I'm going to decrease over the stitch that I decreased in before. You can see it right here, and the one next to it. So I'm going to yarn over and go into that stitch, drop a loop, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over again and go into the next stitch, go through the first 2, and then all 3. And now I'm going to work again, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch until I get back over here to where we decreased before on the other side. Now on this side I'm going to decrease in the one with the that we decreased in before and the one before it. So I'm just going to do a double crochet decrease over these 2 stitches like that, and now I'm going to work my way around until I get back around to my starting point, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch back to here. Okay, I'm back to my starting point. Now I'm just going to slip stitch into my first double crochet, drop my black yarn, and bring my white back up and finish out my slip stitch like that. Now from here on out, it's just 1 double crochet in every stitch, and we just chain 1, go back in the same stitch, double crochet, and 1 double in every stitch. And this is the way it's going to be for the rest of the sock. I'm just going to alternate colors, black and white, and you can do this for as tall as you want your sock to be. If you want a short sock, you can stop whenever. I'm going to do a long one, like she had in the movie. Well, maybe not that long, but pretty long. So I'm just going to keep working around, just switching off from black to white, and I'll let you know how many rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch that I do. Okay, I went ahead and did, after I did my decreased rows, 18 more rows of just 1 double crochet in each stitch, but you definitely do as many as you want, so however long you want the sock part to be. And that's it. That's all there is to it. You just go ahead and make 2 of them the same. And I think they turned out really good. If you make this, I'd love to see a picture of it. You can post it on my the Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And also, you don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my other tutorials. And please check out all my other tutorials that I have now. I got a whole bunch of them on YouTube. And until next time, have a good day.